On the road, I'm chasing her heart tonight. She makes the
Yeehaw!
moon shine. She makes the stars bright. 'Cause her smile can
Hey, welcome to the Floor You podcast. I'm Paul Pleshek. I'm here as always with my good friend, the bearded one, the guru, Sonny Callahan.
What's
Sonny,
going on, everybody?
how
Long
you
time
doing?
no hear.
Yeah, well, your back wasn't exactly cooperating, and the measures taken to prevent that from driving you insane probably would have made excellent radio.
Yeah, yeah. If we weren't in the condition we were in, then we could have done this 6 months ago. But got a little delay. But I'm feeling better, and that's all that matters.
We are joined today by Mark Violand. Mark and I have been good friends. Sonny as well. We've known him
Yes.
for years, decade or more.
Decades,
Mark
yeah.
and I have worked together on the National Institute of Certified Floor Coverings Inspectors. We've worked together with the ICRC. Mark, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me to join you.
Yeah, I don't think mine's near as long, but it's over 10 years, Mark. I think it
Yeah.
was 2008, 2009. We were in Dalton doing a class together. May have
Yes.
been 2007. So, 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
It's a long
It's been
time.
good. Stuck on me, huh?
Yeah.
Or I'm stuck on you.
It's the velvet voice. He got the angel of a velvet voice. So if you're just listening and not watching, you're blessed.
We talk a lot about, especially in the introductions, we talk a lot about career path. So, how did you start in the industry, Mark? What's been your path to
Wow,
the
Paul, no pleasantries, just going right into it, huh?
the line? It's true. We haven't done this for a while, and here I go. That's my. I told you I had nerves doing this for the first time, and
No, go ahead. Talk about your career path, Mark. That is a big part of what we talk about here because, I don't know if you know who our audience is, but most of our audience are installers. These are guys who are laying floors right
Yeah.
now as they're
Yeah.
listening to this. So we try to talk about career paths. I started as an installer, and I've been fortunate enough to do just about every job in this industry. So we try to preach the voice that you can do anything you want. You just got to put your mind to it. So how'd you get to where you are today?
Okay, I started out as a child. But seriously, I started out as a child laborer in the school that I was going to as a kid. The janitors were looking for some summertime help, and my mom worked in the school. She worked in the cafeteria, and she sent me over to the school and go see Jim Holman, go see the janitors there, and they said, "You want to learn how to scrub and wax floors?" I just kind of shrugged my shoulders. I was an opportunist. I was mowing lawns in the neighborhood and shoveling snow in the winter. So absolutely. So I started my career scrubbing and waxing floors as a kid. You talk about child labor laws. Holy
Kid, how
moly.
what age are we talking about?
I don't know. How old are you? Sixth grade.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
this is a great example of what we always say. Once you get into the flooring industry, you never
You
get out.
can't get out.
And then I went to a high school, Catholic high school, that is college, driven to get all the students out. I graduated in '75. Therefore, by the grace of Mr. Blomeiser, my algebra teacher, who gave me a D instead of an F in algebra, that I even graduated high school. And I launched out of that and did a couple of jobs in between there. But then it was 1977, really, that my brother Chuck was an opportunist also, and he was starting to sell carpet cleaning equipment to people and providing jobs and an upstart, because at that time we were in a pretty bad recession, and there were a lot of people, it was easy to get into the carpet cleaning business. So my Chuck had a bad back. I was the brawn.
That
And I
sounds like
started
your
cleaning.
story, Paul.
Excuse me. So I started cleaning carpet. So as my career moves on, it was the late 80s that I started hearing about this IICUC at the time. And I was a president of the Regional Carpet Cleaners Association, the UCCI, United Carpet Cleaners Institute, and which eventually merged with the Society of Cleaning and Restoration Technicians. But then it was at that time that I guess I really started to get more deeply involved with the industry, not just from the Carpet Cleaners Association, which was wonderful because it was a regional group of fellow carpet cleaners that would get together on a monthly basis and swap stories over dinner. And it was a great group. But it was the late 80s that I became part of the board of directors with the IICRC. I was the very first chairman of the Public Relations and Marketing Committee. And I was asking for $5,000 to do a promotion, and I still have scars in my back. And I think their budget now is $500,000.
Oh no, their marketing budget's $1 million now.
Yeah. But as things started progressing, it was 1992, 91, 92, that I heard about all of these carpet inspectors. What's that? Well, I took the course from Ed York, who founded the IICRC, and it was a wonderful course. And it was in Roanoke, Virginia. And as you say, the rest is history. So that's when I got my first credential in the inspection industry. And then, how did we say, cross training, or you can't make a living just by doing carpet inspection. It was 1995 when Pergo hit the shores of the US. And that's when I started inspecting laminate and wood floors and so forth. So as they say,
kept you busy.
It was a good career choice. 94, I went full-time doing inspections and training.
So now you're training with the Restoration Technical Institute, Ted and Lisa Lavender. Gotten to know them a bit through the years through Claudia Lozelle and the organization. So you're working with them. They've got a great facility out in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I started teaching classes for them well over 12 years ago, when it was just Burke's Fire Water Restoration. RTI, Restoration Technical Institute, hadn't even been started yet. But they had me coming in to teach just their staff, their technicians, how to clean carpet according to industry standards, and then the carpet repair and reinstallation technician course. And then they said, we need to offer this to more people. I mean, that's just them. That's just Lisa and Ted, that they said, let's share this with our competitors and more people. How's the saying go? When the tide comes in, all the ships rise.
Rising tide lifts all boats.
There you go. That's it.
Yep.
You're good, Paul.
He's been saying that for years, Mark. It's funny you bring that up, because he says that on almost every podcast. We'll mention that exact quote. Yeah. And that's the way he and I look at this, because we have some things that we feel that, it's proprietary to us. But if we don't share it, we have a responsibility to share it with everybody in the industry. What good does that make us? I mean, that drives me crazy when people think, no, you can't share what you know with the younger generation, because there are a lot of older professionals who won't share what they know.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a sad thing. So, I mean, for you, you're teaching. What classes are you teaching now? Kind of run through some of that stuff that you're teaching now. I want the people who are listening to understand the options they have, as far as, to learn something other than installation. What are some of the things that you teach now?
Well, I teach the carpet cleaning technician. And that's one of those courses. Yeah, it's a lot of work to do that type of work. But you know what, Paul, I think you agree with me, because you come from a carpet cleaning background, and look at the tools, look at the advancements that have been made in the carpet cleaning industry that are to allow us no hairs and gray hairs to stay in the industry longer, because when your muscles get sore, when your back is hurting, you know, all about that, Sonny. It's just miserable.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, when you follow certain practices in cleaning carpet, you can enjoy your adult beverage instead of using it to anesthetize the pain.
Right.
When you follow procedures, that we beat up our bodies as carpet installers. I never installed carpet to make a living. I've installed my share of carpet, mind you, both residential and commercial, but never to make a living. Most of the carpet repair and reinstallation work that I did, it was just that, putting carpet back together after a water loss, putting the jigsaw puzzle back together.
Well, you mentioned just a second ago, there's nothing, I don't know if I got to choose my words wisely here. Nothing that makes me sadder than when I go to a contractor for training, or I'm meeting with a group of folks and there's one or two guys, they're over 60 years of age, and they're out installing every single day because they have to. There's no reason for that. You need to plan for your future just like you would if you worked in an office or a warehouse or wherever. You have to plan for the future. And you can install up until the day you retire if you take care of your body, but you got to have the plan. Don't work until you die. Yes. That's what a lot of these installers out here have. And that's one thing that, that's on my list of things I'm going to change in this industry before I'm out of here, which maybe in a couple months, who knows, but that's one of the things that really troubles me. I won't say sad. It troubles me when we see that. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. But so that's why when we talk about all this training, there's so many different pathways for an installer to get off their knees, or if they want to stay on their knees, they still have to plan. They still have to run their life because it's a business, right? I can't tell you how many times I've written that on our infamous Flooring Installers of America page. They'll ask something, and my answer is, you're a business person first. Decide on that, then you can decide what you want to do. But you're running a business first. Don't take that risk. I just use whatever I want to do it, and I don't worry about the warranty. Well, if the manufacturer's giving you a warranty to do it right, it serves you well to do it right. Yeah. Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
Well, that's all right, Sonny, because that was a good tangent, because I want to piggyback on it, because whenever I'm teaching a carpet cleaning technician class or a carpet repair and reinstallation technician class, now mind you, in the carpet cleaning technician class, you're being taught how to clean carpet according to industry standards. And there is an industry standard, the S100 carpet cleaning standard. And a lot of people don't know that, and they don't understand how to get things clean properly, safely, for the environment, the consumer, and themselves. So I look at my students in the classroom and I go, you make the best carpet inspectors in the industry. And the reason I say that is because
our installer listeners are going to
he just pissed everyone off. Thanks.
And
that'll be wrapping up Mark's interview for today.
Well, and this is why I say that, because they see carpet the day it's installed until it's replaced, where an installer sees carpet the day it's installed and then the day it's replaced. So carpet cleaners see it age. And not to take anything away from a carpet installer, they do know, hey, I still do what I teach. So I'm not.
Keep digging out.
All right, Paul. Whatever.
I just had to share that because some people are only listening. Yeah, Paul's doing the dig out motion because he's digging himself out of the hole now.
No, Mark, and I've said it on here before, not quite in those words, but that there is an absolute, there's a universal knowledge that a flooring inspector has to have. And whether you come from that installation background or you come from that maintenance background, you have to learn the other, or you cannot possibly understand the life cycle of that carpet or any of the flooring. And what people that come from the maintenance industry actually do a ton of problem solving for consumers within the maintenance section of it. So there's people out there that do maintenance that are doing restretching. There's people out there that are doing burn repairs and all sorts of different small repairs to the flooring through its life cycle. So they still have to go and learn the steps and the process for installation.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of hands-on through that finish of installation till the time it's replaced that people in the maintenance industry, the cleaning industry, have to deal with all the time. So,
well, think about the end user, be it a homeowner, a construction company, a tenant. All they see is someone coming to look at their floors. They're flooring people. They can't differentiate between installation, cleaning, maintenance, rip out, tear out. You're a flooring guy. You're a flooring person. That's all they see. So they're going to think that they know how to do everything. And the more you can do, the better you can service a customer, for sure.
Well, I give my daughter a hard time. She's my protege, Jessica, my daughter, Jessica. And there are times when I'll start bouncing ideas off of her of a claim that I'm looking at. And she starts towing the line, the manufacturer line. Well, did they do this? Did they do this? Did they do that? I go, Jessica, stop. Put your inspector hat on.
Yeah.
That's the angle that we need to look at this, because there's no doubt about it. Yes, there's required ways on how things are to be installed and maintained. That's the article that I just finished writing about tenacious films being left on brand new floors and people having difficulty removing spots and soil out of carpeting, and they can't get their floors clean. So it's crossing over the soft stuff and the hard surface, why people have such a difficult time keeping them clean.
That would be
first of all, they don't want to figure out what the film is, and then because they don't know how to treat it if you don't know what it is.
Right.
That would be your newsletter, though. Violand's bottom line, right?
Yes, I think you just named my newsletters, Paul.
VBL, Violand's bottom line.
That was the conversation prior to starting recording today. What do you call it, Mark?
I don't know.
It's an article. I share an article.
When we post this on social media, you'll have the opportunity to leave us your email so you can sign up for his newsletter. It's very insightful, and if you're not on his email list, you should be. So, I mean that sincerely. So, always a good read, Mark.
And we'll give you a promo code so you get it for half price. It'll be half of $0.
I was gonna say 20% off is all we're willing to go. I'm the money man.
Wait,
Mark, Paul just gives stuff away.
So how's we go through? Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I was just going to say, writing these articles gives me an outlet. I write reports all the time, so I can write, and even though some of the language that I use has to be edited, and that's where Jessica comes in as my editor, and she does a great job with that. She makes me look good.
You have a whole family of editors, right? Don't you come from a...
Pretty
you telling me you had a long list of editors? I wouldn't survive in your household.
Yes, I raised 3 daughters, 3 granddaughters, 2 grandsons, and another grandson on the way. So
wow. Congratulations on that.
I'm very blessed. But yes, I have, in writing an article, it gives me an opportunity to share this information, just like what this podcast is doing. And Sonny, you said we would be remiss. Why can't we share this information? No hair, gray hairs, all that sort of stuff, shiny heads. Come on, guys, give us the knowledge. We can't do the mind meld on you. Wish you could, but we have to share it. And that's our responsibility now that we have gotten to this place in the industry.
We have a
It really
responsibility
is.
for sure.
And there's so much information out there now. We were talking before about the changes in the industry and the changes overall. And I think one of the advantages that the younger generation has right now, as they learn to use it, is social media and the ability to find a lot of videos out there.
Yeah.
We talked to Ken Ballin not that long ago. He puts out a ton of videos, just some of it informational, some of it just talking about different jobs that he's doing. I got to say, I'm going to do a little family brag here. My nephew, Brandon Pleshek, who took over the carpet cleaning business when I got out of it, he's been through COVID. He's worked on some videos, just some cleaning hacks and things like that. And he's got one video out there that's got over 5 million views.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And just simple stuff. You got a ceiling fan in the background. I think it's about cleaning the ceiling fan with a pillowcase. You put the old pillowcase over it and pull the dust off, and you don't make a mess in the room. But it's simple stuff sometimes, simple little tips that you just would never think of.
Yeah.
And you're marketing your business left and right. So I'm proud of him. He's done a good job with that business. He took something that I was not able to spend a lot of time on and was in need of some attention and made it into something. So
That's good.
That's great.
yeah.
That's good.
Good stuff.
I was going to say my daughter's got a couple of TikTok videos that's got over 100,000 views, but nothing like 5 million. That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Crazy.
But it adds up just like that. Once it gets viral, we know viruses now, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's where Ken's doing. Not to plug him again, but he's making these TikTok videos, and they're you put the music. They set the music behind it. You put the video in, you drop it in and play, and it's good to go. And he's got some good marketing stuff on there, so he's done a good job with that. So
That's
Yeah,
great.
he has. And there's a lot of information that's available that way. Now, it's not a replacement for training, or it's not a replacement. It's more hacks and tips and ideas of the way people do things, but there's no excuse to be ignorant in this day and age. There really isn't.
Well,
no,
and-
you can get the answer to anything you need. If it's calling a number that's on the bucket, let's start with what's easy. The product you're working with, the bag, the bucket, the bottle, the spray, the cleaner, whatever, the website, social media, refer a friend, call a friend, whatever you want to call it. There's lots of it out there.
And Sonny, I know that you make yourself available to anybody who has a legitimate question. Or even, all right, forgive me, any question.
Any question.
You will take any question and answer it sincerely. As would you, Paul. If anybody has a question about cleaning carpet, they would come to you. Or how do I become a carpet inspector? How do I become an inspector at all? That is a path to move forward in your career if you choose to want to do something like that. There's lots of opportunities. That's that cross training, we talk about, right?
Absolutely. Having, it's really diversification, right? The more things that you offer, if one area slows down or if there's a major change in one area of something you're doing, you still have other areas to be able to get into and still be successful.
Yeah.
You
Surround yourself with a support team that can answer. Mark, I've asked you stuff. Paul, I asked you questions.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are watching this on the video, the four guys behind me in this picture, it's 2 flooring manufacturers, another adhesive manufacturer, and a RH probe manufacturer. I call those guys weekly. We talk daily about things.
Oh, there's a 5th one that's hidden by your head.
Well, that's just me.
Oh, that's you.
I don't know. I didn't plan it to be like that, but it actually works out great. So,
If you turn just right, it does look like you have another mini me growing out of the top.
It's a vestigial twin. But we literally speak every day about something. They're like, do you believe I got this? Or what would you do this? It always happens. Real quick, I'd be remiss if I don't do this. The guy on the far on this corner back here, Mr. Don Jewell, his sister passed away last week, and the services are this week. I want you guys to all keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's one of my best friends, if not my best friend. I love him to death, and just want to make sure he knows we're all thinking about him. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. Good guy.
But he's a big part of my support group, and he's one of my biggest competitors. He sells glue just like me. So
I remember
sometimes you got to put that
Cork.
Do what?
I remember when he was with Capri Cork.
Yep.
Talked to him about cork floors because I have cork in my home.
He is a master when it comes to cork. I'm going to say he's top 5 in the United States with people who knows cork, who know cork. I mean, he's that brilliant. But sometimes you just got to take that competitive hat off. And I don't mean this disrespectful, but sometimes that's hard to do with inspectors. There's a couple of guys you'll run in your inner circle, but outside your inner circle, it's hard to share what you know. I've noticed that with you guys, that it's they don't want to share what they know because, and I get it, it's a business. They're trying to, you get paid by what you know, but there comes to the point where we got to all get together and be, work together.
I think in inspections, it isn't necessarily always that you don't want to share. It's that when you do, people just tell you you're doing it wrong because everybody,
you guys have opinions? Get the shit out of here.
And not even inspectors like hanging out with other inspectors. What are you talking about?
You're the only one.
Well, and Paul, I think this is a great launching point to talk about the National Institute of Certified Floor Covering Inspectors.
Right
no,
there
that
on
was
your
a bad
shirt.
transition. We just got done trashing
this guy's an MC.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. We should talk about that.
Show.
All right. And cut.
Let me show you two jackasses how to do this.
Yeah. Well, whenever I've attended a class, the information that's being shared in a class is valuable. In my opinion, of course, I'm a social being. I love the time during break that I can ask another person something or lunch. And that is when, in my opinion, some of the best conversation, the best learning happens.
Steel sharpens steel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, right after you play that video of the trunk monkey, we all learn a lot.
The ejector seat on the fishing boat. Mark has emceed the NICFI convention for 5-6 years now, I would guess. Maybe longer, huh?
Maybe 15.
15. Well, Spence, didn't you start that when Bill Zolfelt was president?
Before then.
Before that.
Doing it since I've known him.
Yeah.
So he
2003.
Between his classes and when he MCs different events, he always plays videos, funny videos to get people back in their seats and paying attention. It works really well because the videos come on, you start watching. Next thing you know, you're sitting down and not talking to the person next to you, and then he starts out. That's the experience of an experienced instructor, experienced.
You can control the room for sure. Without even saying a word, you're all in your seat. Damn, how do you do that?
Clap if you can hear me.
Heck, once you get used to it, you get in your seat a little early so you can watch whatever dang video he's about to play.
Yeah.
Wish I could share one with you right now.
I don't know if you can share it. No, we better not. You're froze up there, Mark. Did you hit your video camera? So make sure your camera's on. But
we can still hear you just fine. So
yeah,
okay.
That's why I think it's your camera. But
got it.
We have worked with Mark. You were on the board for a while there before I was done being president, right? Or while I was past president of NICFI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so we've worked together quite a while through that. And one of the things Mark brought up during the conversation beforehand is that we're talking about an organization as an inspector that promotes the inspections, puts a lot of work into the website and works in social media. And for what's it right now, $250 a year?
Yes. What a value, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's amazing.
you almost would have to try not to get at least one or two jobs through NICFI, and they're all going to be more than that if you're doing it right. So
But again, going back to the resources you have at NICFI with the people who are there,
Yeah.
thousands of years of flooring industry, experience, thousands of years. So it's certainly well worth it. And we've had Bill on here. We've talked about it quite a bit. It's definitely a group worth looking at.
Yeah, it's a great organization.
he's back.
Hey,
I'm
there he
back.
is.
Yeah, had a little glitch there.
The good news is if you just listen to the podcast, you don't have to put up with our production value here.
Bargain basement. Oh wait, yes, I am.
Well, we went to do one last week, and I don't know, it just kind of fell through. But I didn't have the picture behind me. I have a whiteboard behind me, and that's what I'd written on the board. I'm back, baby. And we never did it. So I'm like, it's old now. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah, I should have went into that further when we started this. You were right. We were going to talk about that a little bit. Should we save that for the next one, or you want to
Save what?
why you were off and what you went through?
No, we talked about it. Good enough. I had some back issues, had surgery. It took 8 months off, and now I'm back.
And here's your front.
Sonny's back is back.
It's back. Speaking of, I got completely cleared today. That's where I was earlier today. So now I can start the rehab of building my strength back and doing stuff. So, It's tough when you sell buckets of glue, but you can't pick up those buckets of glue to take to somebody. Here, I want you to buy this, but come over here to my truck and carry it inside your own building for you. It's a hard sell.
You were limited to your mega gulp.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did have that. Yeah, that was a tough sell.
Do you still have weight restrictions or no?
No, none.
None.
So I'll start physical therapy to build the core strength and all that stuff up. So, I'll be buff in just a few months. It'll look good. You'll see me at surfaces. Oh wait, there's no surfaces. You'll see me at FCI. Oh, there's no FCICA.
No. Well, there's surfaces in July. Surfaces what, July in Vegas now? I mean,
Vegas in July.
Balmy summer months of July in Las Vegas.
Well, I've tried to get something together for us to do something in April to get NAFCT together, but no one will give me a COVID clause to say if COVID prevents a group of more than 100 people, you get your money back. No one will put that in writing.
Well, will they let you reschedule it?
Probably let me reschedule it, but.
And now we're off into the weeds of a behind the scenes. This is how Sonny and my conversations go all the time.
Squirrel.
Just veer way off over here.
No, I want people to know. I mean, I want people to know we're going to have an event in 2021. We just don't know when. We're shooting for the end of March or April, but who knows?
There may be some interesting developments coming over the next couple months.
Next couple weeks.
Next couple weeks.
It's exciting.
There's your teaser.
Stuff.
There's your teaser.
All right.
We'll see how many people paid attention this long to understand.
Most of them hung up. Here, let's see if anybody notices.
Right.
Yeah.
So the other time I ran into you, Mark, we didn't know, is we showed up in Middlefield one day, and it was me, you, and what was it, one or two other guys getting an exclusive Tarkett plant tour. I don't remember how that. But hey, Mark, and we just showed up and got a behind-the-scenes tour. It was it must have been Don Styka who took us through.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a neat experience.
I just had a conversation with Don this morning. So, but that was priceless. That kind of stuff was just absolutely priceless. It's those kind of things, it's one thing to watch a video of a manufacturing procedure or whatever, from a carpet mill to a plant
Another
that's
thing
making
to smell it. I mean, to
oh
be there.
oh where they were making the rubber and
Yeah.
compounding the rubber. Oh, that just
It was really fascinating. So I always enjoyed that trip to Tarkett. It was a good trip.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's plan a NAFCT event up here in the Cleveland area and do a mill tour with Stika.
Let's just do the tour. We don't need to.
You know what? Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Hey,
I would love to do that. I think that would be phenomenal to have a class and have a tour set up with that. Heck, any manufacturer that's listening, if they want to do that, we can put a group together to go. So, but we enjoyed that. It's just neat. Like you said, you can watch the video all day long, but seeing it in person, completely different.
It is.
That brings up another thing we talked about before we started recording here. As far as a lot of the online training that's going on now, there's not that in-person meetings. You're doing a lot of online training. How are you adjusting to that as far as you're used to being in the classroom, you're used to being in front of people and having feedback. And
it's hard, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah. It was the end of March that all of this COVID was starting to unfold, and I had classes scheduled all through April, first part of May, and gone, not a class. And I, with some wonderful people with Legend Brands, people with Lisa Lavender and the group at Restoration Technical Institute, they helped me, held my hand through that transition period of, I want to say, taking a drink out of a fire hose for about 8 weeks to convert what I've been teaching for over 25 years face to face with students to looking in a camera and sharing that knowledge and doing PowerPoints and things like that, and trying to keep it interesting. Because again, taking a class that was 2 days loaded with funny videos, there isn't time. And now the classes are now 3 days. And yes, it's still interjected with some fun stuff. You have to keep it interesting. But talk about, I had no idea. I had to put together an outline of all of the things that I teach in a class. And it was 8 pages long. And I'm going, holy crap, no wonder they feel like their head's going to explode at the end of a class. I go, I'm sorry. But that also taught me I need to ask more quizzes and do, what do you call, knowledge checks as you go through the course to keep people engaged and to make it interesting and fun.
Right.
But let me tell you, I'm 63 years old. And I look at the things that I was teaching starting in 1995 with a great adult mentor friend of mine, Lee Pemberton, who gave me my launch. God bless you. Who launched me into my career of teaching. And it's been great. I loved it. I love it. It also, again, the things that I inspect, I can bring to the course. The things that I teach in the course, I take to the field doing inspections. So, and those things go into my articles. So it all goes hand in hand. It really goes hand in hand. And yeah, you talk about.
Yeah, but you're like me though, Mark. Every class is going to be different because you're going to interact with each class differently. Yep. So you're going to talk to the students, you're going to make jokes, you're going to get to know them. And when you're doing that on a webinar, it's tough. I did a couple through the FCICA, and it finally got to the point where I said I couldn't do them anymore just because I planned for an hour and a half for a webinar. And then after about 25 minutes, I was done because there was no interaction. There was no, no dropping the punchline and waiting for the laugh, because no one's there. Right. It's like, see, to me, teaching is just so more personal than doing that. Now we've talked about live streams. I think I could do a live stream. That's fine. But even video, and I think I could do that because you can get some interaction and drop some things in there and talk to them, watching a video and do what you were saying, the knowledge checks and making sure they're engaged. But just strictly doing a webinar and teaching. It's tough. Not everybody can do it. I've seen some really good presenters in person just fail miserably on webinars. And I don't mean that as a slight, because mine sucked. Mine was terrible. But it's a totally different type of presentation. Difficult. Yeah.
Well, we know from the the funny thing is you would not be doing it without COVID. That's been a massive change. There is no way the ICRC was going to move from their current model of in-person instruction and classes to streaming and different types of online offerings. I mean, it's definitely dragged different organizations and businesses kicking and streaming into the 2000s. You know, it's not the 2020, it's just 2000s, but
well, I look at it, you know, this kind of training was not on my radar screen.
No.
But I'll tell you what, teaching from the comfort of my home, which I had to set up a training center and invest in equipment and so forth to make it happen, like battery backups and things like that. If power goes out, you know, I'm good. But it's just that being able to teach here in the comfort of my home, and I didn't have to travel anywhere. I can sleep in my own bed. There's comfort in that, but then again, the three of us, we're social beings. We love the discussion with people. We love, as some people might say, the bar exam. Yeah, going to the bar, you know, after the event and just having some wonderful conversations. Not happening now.
Yeah.
Well, that networking, that interaction in the industry, definitely for people newer and coming in and able to start identifying what they have to do.
You and I wouldn't be together right now if it wasn't for that. I mean, we met at events. We started talking at events, and we realized we liked the same things. We wanted to do the same things in the industry. What couple didn't get together? And I'm calling this a couple, but whatever. What couple didn't get together because of COVID this year, right? Could have been one to change the industry. So you just never know.
Oh, it's definitely true. That the networking part of it.
I'm the guy, by the way.
What's that?
I just want to make that perfectly plain and simple.
He does run the purse strings. I'll give him that. But yeah, that networking, that's something that overall is going to be missed if this goes on. Where not necessarily for the online classes, there's some of it, but especially for the association meetings, the conventions, the trade shows, because you know you do meet people at classes that you're then friends with. I mean, Bill Zolfeld, I met him down in North Carolina. You know, he missed his airplane, stayed with me, and I haven't been able to get rid of him since. I mean, we've been friends ever since.
I gave him a ride one day, and he just never got out of the car.
Well, yeah, it's a picture about Zotfeld being the trunk monkey.
Yeah.
We were in Vegas.
So there will
the first time I met Bill, it was Don Jewell and I. We picked him up at the airport, and Don and I made some just slightly off-color joke, and we're like, "Oh, sorry, Bill. We hope we didn't offend you." And the next words that came out of his mouth have haunted me ever since. He was, "You can't offend me." Don and I looked at each other and went, "All right."
He's okay. He's okay. Nowadays, those are the things that get people fired.
I guess that's why he's self-employed.
All of us are.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of the viruses and so forth, how has business been on your end?
Well, the inspection industry is up and down. And of course, I asked Jessica, how were our numbers last year? And she goes, Dad, we're exactly where we were last year. Don't worry about it. Write an article.
It's a good daughter.
Okay. But, you know, there's no doubt about it. I am seeing a change in the in the volume of inspections. I'm fortunate that, yes, my reputation precedes me in this geographic area, Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, and so forth. So I get more than claims from manufacturers. I am called by dealers, by installation contractors, by attorneys, so consumers direct. So yeah, it's not the volume of inspections, but the ones that do come in almost take care of
You
that.
get the people who want the best quality and not just the best price.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, because that's the truth. You get what you pay for when you go to you. So I'd hate to be the guy who's got to go up against you.
Well, just did a deposition last week about a wood floor. But the things that I started seeing, and this started going on years ago, that I started to see the decline in inspections coming from manufacturers. And I finally realized who my biggest competitor was. This right here. Your cell phone.
Your cell phone.
That installer can be out on a job site, which I'm sure they're listening to me right now. And if they see a problem with a carpet or a floor or something like that, they snap a picture of it. They send it back to the store sends it to the rep to the claims department. Oh, okay, we'll take care of it. They don't need us. So I get that.
Especially with job stops, right? I mean, a job stop, if you can really capture it in a photograph, they're going to want to get that resolved quickly. They're going to want to get that taken care of, and not put the homeowner through sitting with a partially installed flooring for a week to get an inspector out to look at it.
Yeah. Well, the other part of it too, and we both know that, what's the dollar value? I mean, if it reaches a pretty high value, well, they want some more eyes and ears on that to take a look at it. And I get that, and that's what we do.
Yeah,
that's what we do. Oh, so where are you going to be? What kind of classes you got coming up? Sonny's got a hard stop here in about 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So want to make sure we get what kind of classes you got coming up. Where can people find you?
They can go to my website, markforfloors.com, or just what's my website address? I don't know. Mark for Floors. Just
Mark the number
Mark
4, right? Isn't it just the number 4?
Something like that. The number 4. I don't go to my website.
I'm on that interweb thing.
You're
you can
so
find me
savvy.
But I have a carpet cleaning technician class coming up in a couple of weeks through Restoration Technical Institute. So you can Google their name, Restoration Technical Institute. They're out of Reading, PA, but I'll be teaching that class right here. And that's a 3-day class. And then in October, I'll be teaching a carpet repair and reinstallation technician class. And there's a lot of information that is taught in that class. And I have to be honest with you, there are more restorers that take that class than carpet cleaners and so forth, because they want to get their master status. But that's great. That's fine. But for the carpet cleaning technician class, that's an invaluable information to learn all there is about the carpet cleaning industry, carpet fibers, spot stain removal, cleaning procedures. I mean, there's a wealth of information there that will help make your job easier.
We
talked
through the broadcast here about diversification and offering different. I think for installers, there is a easier path to entrepreneurship through a carpet cleaning business, because you are marketing out to businesses and individuals, and that's how it's expected to be marketed. A lot of the challenge with marketing and installation business is that your customer is going to be a retailer who hires you all the time. You're not as frequently marketing out that way. I think there's some expansion and things there that a lot of carpet installers or flooring installers looked into. That type of a business. If you enjoy running a business, I think that is a business that has more reward from a marketing standpoint, from an employee standpoint. from a small business. Now, granted, if you've got a large installation house and you're doing these huge commercial jobs, that's kind of the same animal, right? You're building a business. You're not just out doing the jobs all the time. But there's a lot of room there, and if you install a floor and then you tell them that you can clean it for them, you've just got a lifetime customer. Next time they need a new floor, guess who they're coming to?
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
as long as you hold up your end of the bargain.
Well, true.
Sure. Sure.
So those classes, and those aren't exactly what are they getting for the carpet cleaning courses that you're giving for a Restoration Technical Institute, roughly?
About $400.
Well, $400.
Yeah.
That's a 2-day course.
3 days.
3-day course.
3-day course being
Three
online.
6-hour days. And then they have the opportunity to take an exam, and that's $65 to get their credential, their certificate with the IICRC. Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration Certification.
I've heard of them.
You've heard of them.
So is that live streaming that you're doing, or do they just have to watch 6 hours of you being recorded?
No, it's live stream.
Okay, it is live stream. I just want to make sure.
That is correct. Yeah, it is
Interaction. I don't think the IICRC approved any classes just for online modules. I don't absolutely mark me on that. I think it's all live stream classes.
Yes.
Some combination classes we've been looking at within that. But some of those modules, it's a totally different system at that point, right?
Yeah.
You got some certain modules you can do. So you can do a couple modules as an academic portion, then you've got some streaming. That's a real different education plan. It's a good education plan, but it's not what the IICRC has done for the last 50 years, 40 years.
Yeah, that's why I'm shocked it took so long to do the live streaming. I mean, the live streaming is just like being there. You can cover the curriculum in depth and correctly like that. So I prefer that too. So.
Yeah, but you're talking about an organization that has schools and instructors and a business model, and that was that.
No, I know.
That's
Yeah,
a
turn
major
into
change.
Titanic. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
It's a major change, difficult change.
One of the things that yes, I've been teaching the class for 25 years, these classes for 25 years. And one of the things I teach the way that I learn, I want to hear it, I want to touch it, feel it, do it. So I offer as much opportunity in person classes for people to touch and feel and do.
That's how I met my wife. Oh, wait.
Yeah, there you go. So
PG, Sonny. No.
I knew it was going to happen when you start teaching these live stream classes. How do we do a burn test? How do we identify carpet? How do we remove spots from carpet? So I created a demo kit, and I send each student one of these kits that have all the different fibers that you're going to do a burn test on, and instructions that go along with that, all of the different carpet styles that you need to know and become familiar with, all the different yarn systems, and then a large piece of carpet that I put spots on. And I ship that to you. And then you can participate in the class as much as you want when I'm saying, okay, get your fibers out, time to start to do the fiber ID part. And then the same thing with the carpet repair class. I also send out carpet pieces, carpet samples, cushion samples, so that they too can understand what's the difference between a tufted carpet and a woven carpet. What's the difference between the weaves on woven carpet, Axminster, velvet, Wilton, so forth, and face-to-face, all these sort of things. It's one thing to talk about it and show a picture, but it's another thing to hold it and dissect it.
Get your hand on it and play with it. No, I agree 100%.
So my class might be a little bit more.
Mark. We could go on all day with this, but we do have to wrap it up. We're coming up on an hour today, but I think that just means we're going to have you back again soon. So, I can throw out one more teaser. Paul, you'll smack me in the head, I'm sure, but Mark and I are working on an advanced carpet class that we're going to try to figure out how to get to market, and we're going to do it in 2020. So we're going to figure out how to do it, and that's up to he and I. We're going to make it work. That's my promise to you, Mark.
All right, Sonny.
We need to do it.
There are some things up and coming. Stay tuned. Within the next, heck, it might be next week. We're gonna have some announcements, but for sure by before October 1st, we got some really, really big announcements coming up. So if you hung out with us this long, that's your teaser.
Yeah,
We'll
bear
start
with
trickling
us.
out some information here slowly.
Mark, I just want to thank you again for being on here. It's always a pleasure talking to you. You are a very smart man, and I enjoy listening to you. So,
Ah, shucks. Thanks, Sonny.
All right, I'm gonna play you out.
play me
Thanks,
out.
Mark. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate
All right,
it. Thanks,
everybody. Have a great
for
day.
listening.
Bye-bye.
Sometimes it's frightening, struck by the lightning. Every night when she makes the moon shine. Every night when she makes the moon shine.